The views and opinions of the guest on We Are Flatbush does not reflect the views and opinions of the platform. We do not instigate, propagate, or glorify anything. It's all educational and entertainment purposes only. Please enjoy and thank you for watching.
Yeah. Flatbush. Westbury to Lincoln, Clarkson Ave to Lennox, 2-1st to Church, Notion Ave to Riddock, Newkirk to 2-3rd, the junction where the 2-stop, Vidside to 90s, Flatbush Ave and Bear High.
The one and only. The man that got like 5 names. But it's one name.
I want to know.
You know what I mean? The man that you know that changed the reality TV culture.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
The man that kindly told Diddy, I don't want to work with you. I want to work with Clef.
There you go.
We got my man Dylan in the building. What's up?
Bless him. Greetings. First of all, this is a long time coming. And I told you already, I said this is one and done. It's going to take a lot for me to do another interview because I turned down a lot. And all due respect to their platforms and the major ones and all that, due respect. But this is grassroots. This is grassroots. I got to deal with home team, and I feel like they're not ready for my unfiltered truth. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is grassroots. I feel like I'm at home. So I don't. That. Yeah. I'm at home. So this is Flatbush. We are Flatbush. So I got to do this first, and then maybe I'll take on. But as far as right now, I feel like this is one and done, and I want to keep it like that because, again, my mouth is reckless, but it's truth. It's truth, and there's no cap in what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give you a heads up. When I say there's no cap in what I say, if somebody called me out to say, well, that's not what happened, it's only because I don't remember. But everything I'm saying is going to be truth. So if I say, yo, I did this on Flatbush and Avenue I, and somebody say, that shit was on Avenue H, it's because I forgot. But I'm talking the truth. And you know that this is truth. You understand? Like, I'm not here to give you no fuckery. This is just my life, and so it go. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. Like, I'm not, but I'm happy to be here. Because this is like, again, We Are Flatbush is grassroots. This is the home team. I'm more comfortable here more than anywhere else. And then, like I said, maybe I'll do another one, but this is my first interview in, I think, about 10 years. I've turned down, I've said no. And then, of course, when Diddy case happened, everybody in their mother, the LA Times, and this one and that one, everybody calling my phone, and they offering bread. Just for the record, Popeye didn't give me a fucking red cent to get. So watch. I just wanted people to know this was this was really, and they were offering bread. Yo, I could have really paid off 2 bills with them, you know. And I said, nah, son, like I gotta do this. I gotta do this hometown thing first. And then
we appreciate it.
Yeah, not even that gas money they might give me here. But I said, nah, it's love.
This
is how we started. I need them to know from the beginning, before we get into the meat and bones of this, understand that why I did this. That this is for our people, this is for the culture, and I understand that there are a lot of people who are not from our neighborhood that's watching right now, that never been to these zones, don't know nothing about this, never been to these schools, this community. But I want to bring you into my world, and build up the platform that my family has. You know what I'm saying? Because you are family, so I want to do that. So that's important to me.
So let's get into your world, then, man. We about to get into your world, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Where you from, Dylan? Let's start it off right there. We're going to get into your world.
Okay.
Tippy toe, like I always do when we on Flatbush. We don't skip nothing around here.
Okay.
So where you from, Dylan?
Well, I'm Linda first son. Big up moms. Tom Brand first son. I was born in Brooklyn, Kings County. And I'm from the first place that I was raised was by Lucky Corner. Some people don't know what Lucky Corner is, but I was right around the block from Lucky Corner, across the street from my 11. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was as a baby. You know what I'm saying? Right around there, Avenue B. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Avenue
East
B.
Flatbush. So you was in
Yeah,
East
so
Flatbush
East Flatbush, Avenue
right
B.
around the corner of Brownsville.
Yeah, exactly, right there. And then after that, as we got older, then I moved to the 50s. And 50s H side, H block, you know what I'm saying? So H clock, as the family say. But H block over there, you know what I'm saying, by Glenwood. So, you know, I'm from
That's
the
over there by
50s.
South Shore High School.
Absolutely, and I went there for a little bit too.
Okay, don't speed on me like I
Yeah.
said. Don't skip on me.
Yeah,
on me
man,
on
yeah.
Flatbush. So,
Yeah.
you was at Lucky Corner first.
Yeah.
Now, describe Lucky Corner for a lot of people, because I know about Lucky Corner.
Lucky Corner is not too lucky for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Especially the Chinese spot. It's not lucky for a lot of people. I mean, like any other neighborhood in most hoods, as we say, it was, you know, you got the terrorists. You know what I'm saying? The Taliban them there. So it's like, you know, everybody, at that time, you have to remember, everybody's outside. What they calling outside now, we don't know what was inside.
Well, I want you to be clear when you say everybody outside. What year you talking about? Because we like to take it back. Let the people know
This is the 80s and the 90s, early 90s. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. As far as like them time there, this was the 80s. This was the 80s.
Now, what type of crews was around there, around Lucky Corner? Like what kind of crews that you can remember?
At that time, growing up, there was D-Seps and VIP. Yeah, that was that. There's nothing else I honestly remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're speeding it up right now.
I know.
We on the fast trace.
Yeah, son, like that's what I remember.
Okay,
and again, there's no cap in what I'm saying. If I forget a year or forget...
I say I can be speeding up.
Okay.
I want to bring it back a little bit.
Okay.
Now you say you was born out here. What school you went to?
Well, school now. That's when I went to the 50s. So I went to PS 251. I went to Roy H. Mann. After Roy H. Mann, I went to Roy H. Mann for 1 year. Then I went to a Catholic school called Mary Queen of Heaven for 7th grade. And I went to a place called New Vistas Academy, which was in Vanderveer for 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? So in 8th grade, that's when I caught my first charge in Vanderveer. My first charge I caught in Vanderveer. In the Veer, yeah, because they had, I think there was a summer school program. You know what I'm saying, at the school right there at that park. You know what I'm saying? So
269.
Yes, you know what I mean? And I was carrying, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't carrying a John. It was actually a BB, but it was one of those BBs that looked real, that was really authentic.
Carrying a BB gun.
Yeah, it was a BB gun. I'm a kid, you know what I'm saying? But I knew how to carry something, you know what I'm saying? You see, at them time there, you had to have something, you know what I'm saying?
So and why you thought you had to have something?
This is the 90s. And in the 1990s in Brooklyn, especially in Flatbush, as a kid, everything was about see back then, the way I grew up and the way a lot of us grew up, it was two things. We're gonna link up, and who won it? This was the mentality. We linking up, I'll meet you at the corner store, I'll meet you here, and who won it? This was the mentality of, I believe, everybody who was, again, as the cool is now, outside. You know, so I was into everything, you know what I'm saying? And before I even continue, I'm gonna tell you this. Me and my brother, who's my best friend, Dane Cares, they call him, you know what I'm saying? So me and Dane, we were talking the other day, and he was like, yo, you know, you don't get points for bragging about shit that you got away with. If you got away with it, you don't get points by bragging about that. So be very cautious. And I was cautious about this interview. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, fuck the camera. Because I was like, most of my life was about a lot of road activities. Mm-hmm. So I can't talk about, and this is why I don't do interviews, because most of my life, especially growing up, is all road shit. There's nothing in the streets that happened that I haven't done. There is nothing, I'm going to repeat, there's nothing in the streets that people do on the streets that I haven't done. So what do I talk about? That's rough, because you want to vent, and it is therapy, and it's like, what the fuck what am I supposed to say? So I got to like almost go straight into music, because it's like, you know how many niggas have we robbed out here? You know what I mean? Like, you know how much jokes we did over here? You know how much, you know what I'm saying? Not just glorify, but like, They do cold cases on shit like this. Are you serious? Like they do backgrounds on this. I don't care how long it is. I don't care about the statute of limitations. This was literally my life and my family and what we was doing. So when we in the road, we really in the road, you know. So the first case, I'm saying that, very active. Mm-hmm. So I can't brag about certain things. So I'm gonna have to like even mentally, while I'm talking, remember like, okay, stop there or give a piece, because this is real life. This is my actual life. This is not. You know what I'm saying?
This is actual life.
Yeah. So
with all that being said, now, with all that being said,
yeah,
you was going through all of that trials and tribulations. Right?
Oh, but VANDERVEER, I will say, the Veer, I had the BB gun or whatever, and I walked in the thing, and a woman, I guess the security of the school over there, 269, she seen that. She didn't even say nothing to me. She called police right away. You know what I'm saying? And then police came through. You know what I'm saying? They locked me up, brought me to the precinct. And that was the first time. You know what I'm saying? The first of many times.
And you was in the 8th grade when this happened?
This was in, 8th grade.
All right, so you speeding a lot, boy. So you was really outside and you was active.
Yeah, fully.
With the bullshit.
I'm still active. I'm still very active in a lot of things. The problem or the situation is I'm just smarter about what I do. And when I say active, it's more like I'm really in the road. I'm really outside with everybody else. But this is family, you know. So you just gotta do things very smart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing illegal activities. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But we really outside. Yeah.
So
there you go.
All right, so you're talking the 8th grade.
As a roads man, you know. I
want to keep it there when you're in the 8th grade.
Yeah,
because that means it's just a time in your life. Yeah. It's around 16, 17, around that time.
Even before that.
And like you said, you caught your first case in Van. You know what I mean? And you coming from Lucky Corner. So it looked like you was bouncing around through the Flatbush areas from east to the Flatbush side. Yeah. So now explain to me growing up through Flatbush, on the Flatbush side, like the Flatbush Avenue, the Newkirks and all that, how it was for you growing up through them areas. You know what I'm saying? You say because see like you was outside going through these blocks. So where the question I really want to ask, where's the main block you hanged at?
At that time, I traveled a lot more than a lot of people that was from neighborhoods. Like, so the way we grew up, if you from that hood, you stayed in that hood for the most part. You know? So I did travel. So I you know what I'm saying? I moved around, but I would say 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I really like learned a lot, grew up, really grew up in the 50s. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm a 50s youth. The 50s kind of molded you.
Yeah, absolutely. 50s crew molded me. Yeah, absolutely. And then going back to Avenue B side and all of that. But you know what I'm saying? But as far as
was your base.
Yeah, that was my base. That was my base. But I would definitely go check to some of the family in the 90s and Bun and Spliff and you know what I'm saying? I would go to the Heights and go Bun and Spliff and hang out. I would. So I wasn't.
When you bunning your spliff, two things I want to ask you. You bunning your spliff now. Yeah. And you say you're going to the 90s, you're going to the 50s. Yeah. One is, where you buying your spliff from? Where you used to get your weed from? Yeah. And two is, after you smoke your weed, where you going to eat?
Yeah.
Where you going to eat?
All right. There was a boom spot on Utica between Church and Linden. At that time, there was a boom spot over there I would go to. I would definitely go over there. And as far as eating back then, I don't remember Sally's was really a thing back then, you know. But I don't even remember eating that much. I remember just
eat, man.
Turkey
and cheese.
The corner store, like honestly, son, like you know what I'm saying, we would go to the corner store, you know what I'm saying, and get a thing and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, them size. You're taking me back too.
That's what
you definitely take me back.
This is what Flappers is all about. Yeah. We want to take you back.
Yeah, for real.
To the time that we was growing up in the streets of Flatbush and East Flatbush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Them turkey and cheese.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? Them $3 plates. You know what I'm saying?
And things was cheap. It was quarter water time.
Survived.
It was definitely sour power time. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that, the sour powers and all that, man. Like, come on. Yeah, that was real. It was real. I think as effed up as it was, that was one of the most beautiful times of. I think it was the golden era. I think the '90s in Brooklyn was the golden era because the way we was raised is like we the hardest out. You know what I'm saying? You grow tough, you know. You grow tough. And I remember at that time too. Every summer, I was in Carriacou, Grenada. Every summer I was in Grenada, so I would spend my summers in Grenada, and the rest of the year in Brooklyn. Okay. You know, so that was 8th grade. And then you see, and this is the problem. Like, I'm going in my head and I'm remembering what changed me between 8th and 9th grade, and it was a bloody situation. And when I did that situation, I said to myself, I would never. It's hard to talk about things. Not because it's not hard to talk about it, but it's more like law wise. You understand? I have to think about this. This is why I don't do interviews, because I'm
Black TV.
this is on Black TV now. Yes.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right.
Go on.
The next question. This is gonna go jump over there.
Yeah.
Well, my question I want to ask you, I'm going to go back to the Flatbush side, the party life.
Yeah.
And growing up, like you said, growing up in Flatbush.
Yeah.
And the culture.
Yeah.
Where you used to party at?
Alright. So now living in the 50s. But let me speak for the people who don't know this neighborhood.
That's what we want.
At this time there are sound systems. And you had hip hop. Hip hop is reigning supreme. You have Special Ed is doing this thing. Chub Rock. You have UMCs, you have, that whole era is going on heavy. But now where I'm from, there's another thing that's going on, and that's the sound systems.
AKA dancehall?
Dancehall. Okay. Reggae music is reigning supreme. Now let me talk my personal history with this. First of all, on my block, on my actual block, there's a sound system building up. They call Young Power. Sean Elliott was a member of Young Power. When Sean Elliott passed away, rest in peace, Sean. When Sean Elliott passed away, he was 17. Remember, I'm a kid. I'm not a teenager. I'm probably 12, going on 13. So I'm 12 going on 13 around that time. And after Sean Elliott passed, they changed the name to Genesis, which was the beginning. All right. So maybe we talking 92, 91, go 92. That's when Genesis began. And they started building up the sound. So us kids were responsible for picking up the speakers, carrying these crates, you know what I mean? Anything that Genesis needed. And they started collecting dub plates from different artists like Garnet Silk, Dennis Brown, all these people who are alive and kicking. And I remember when Genesis...
Hold up. Explain to the people what dub plates are.
Dub plates are when you have an artist sings a song, and they sing that song that is a popular song, it's a mainstream song, but then they sing it but putting your name in it.
For your
sound. For your sound. And that's your sound system. Right, that's your name. So if your name is Bobby, and you have... I'm looking at Machiavelli right there. Hail Mary, run quick see, Bobby. Now you know how we be. Okay. So Pac would have said Bobby name in the tune, and now you can brag about that. Like, what? Y'all don't have Tupac. I have this, and that was the culture. You know what I'm saying? That's what a dub plate is.
A dub plate
is a personalized record for your DJ crew, and your DJ crew was your sound system.
All right, continue.
So this sound system was Genesis. And Genesis, they were practicing all the time. The first time that I ever held a microphone in my hand, an actual microphone, the first time ever, was they were practicing, and I'm there, and Nico from the sound, he's practicing, I'm watching, and he would call me Dylan, because they would call me Dylan growing up. Now, Dylan, my parents called me Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N.
That's your name?
Yeah, that's my name.
That's your name?
But when I was in elementary school at PS 251, the teacher said, Dylan, they were reading the names of the kids in first grade, and I never corrected her. So anybody that knows me in first grade, second grade, third, fourth, and fifth is going to call me Dylan. And they're going to be like, that's Dylan.
That's not Dylan.
That's not Dylan.
That's Dylan.
I started calling myself Dylan when I moved to Caracu, Grenada, which we'll get to.
Okay.
Because that's when my grandparents and them raised me, and they called me Dylan, and that's when I realized Mom and Dad, and in the house, of course, they called me Dylan. But a lot of people growing up with me knew Dylan. So back to this. So Nico said, Dylan, say a thing, man. And I was like, I hold the microphone, I said, massive, massive, massive. And he said, all right, Dylan, you're good. Here we go. And that was the first time I held a microphone. And the way that shit sound on the fucking speaker, I was like, oh snap. I was like, the echo, the vibe. I said, yo, this is amazing. So now fast forward. Genesis said they have a dance coming up. There's a sound called Soul Supreme, a sound called Spectrum, Genesis, and a few others. And it was in a place called Lucas Ballroom. Lucas Ballroom. I couldn't get out the house. Now this was on Church, I believe. I think it was Church Ave. Again, there's no cap in what I'm saying. So if I forget where the ad is, I don't want to hear nothing from no man in the comments. You see y'all in the comments? Y'all be like, that shit wasn't so, especially y'all OGs, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the time to them, no. Listen, so
the best way to say that, what you can recall.
Well, I can recall. Lucas Ballroom was on Church, and we can make a call and find out, but whatever. So it was a place called Lucas Ballroom, and I remember I wasn't allowed to be at the house at that time, you understand? So I remember sneaking out, and when I snuck out, my cousins Clintus, Doogsy was there, and a few others, and we took the dollar cab, and we went down to Lucas Ballroom. When I got to Lucas Ballroom, this was the first party that I never been in a dance in any club. Now you know, yeah, your family thing, your family fet. But as far as a club, the first club I ever went to was with Sound Systems. Mm-hmm. I didn't know anything else, and I walked in there, and bro, let me tell you, when Genesis string up and they on the microphone, and Soul Supreme and them talking and thing, and they like, people, boom, 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 boom. I sat there and I said, I stand up, I said, I want to do that. I have to do that.
And what was that?
They were controlling people's emotions and controlling how people felt by just speaking and playing music. Like, I couldn't believe it. That, yo, put your hands in the air, da da da. Like, you were changing the emotions. You were going from certain good vibes, certain old songs, and then having the people dance and taking them through the emotions. And I was like, nah, I need to do that. I need to do that. I have to do that. This is as a kid, Lucas Ballroom first. After that, yeah, I'm in Starlight Ballroom. I'm in Flamingo Ballroom. I'm in all them places. I never went to Biltmore. I will say. But I call myself a Biltmore baby to the elders, because so they know I'm from that era.
So all the club that you just named, just let the people know, it's all in Flatbush, right? Yeah,
this is all in Flatbush. I'm in all these Flatbush basements and all of that. All right? So I'm dealing with that, and I'm a part of Genesis Sound as a box boy. I'm a box boy on Genesis Sound at this time.
Okay,
at this time,
man, don't skip over me, man. You gotta let the people
all right,
know
but
it's a box boy.
I'm a box boy first.
What's a box boy?
A box boy.
They get the box out your face?
No, we're not taking box.
What's a box boy?
A box boy is, these are the boxes, the speakers, and you're carrying the boxes. You're carrying the speakers. You're carrying the crates of records. You're carrying that. That's what's considered a box boy.
That the people know.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's fact. Because there's a lot of people, again, somewhere in Oregon that's watching right now that has no idea. They know Dylan, but they're like, what is he talking about? Like, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to remember, they know me from MTV. They know me from Making of the Band. They have no idea about what I'm talking
right
about.
Now, they don't know you from that yet. They now
yeah.
the time of that.
Yeah.
Dancehall time.
This is dancehall time, man.
So
and
continue what you were saying, but
so I said I need to do this, and that was my goal. Now, before that, right before that, I was writing, but I wrote a rap song, and the first rap song I wrote, and my friend Garnett, my sister Garnett, could actually quote the whole rap. And I was like, my name is Dylan and I came to be something that is history. But we do a lot of things against the law, like fighting, stealing, and breaking jaws. Now, it's the gremlin rap. It's the gremlin rap. That's the gremlin rap. It's the gremlin rap. It's the gremlin. So I wrote that at 10 years old. I wrote that at 10.
Okay, all
right. So I wrote my first rap at 10, but then joined the sound and as a box boy in preteens. Now put that together. And this matters a lot because now you realize much later in life about the style of music as an artist that I am when it comes to bridging the culture. Because I wrote that rap. But I'm a sound man.
That's what I'm gonna ask you.
You understand? I'm not a dancehall artist. I'm not a reggae artist. No, I'm not a dancehall artist. I'm not a reggae artist. I'm just a sound man. I'm a selector. I'm a box. You know what I'm saying? I came from that. But I write rap.
Yeah. That's the part you got me right
Yeah.
When you say you're a sound man, Grenada,
yeah. Caribbean
person,
yeah.
Caribbean vibe,
yeah.
You touched the mic,
yeah.
You fell in love,
yeah.
But where the rapping part came in from?
The rapping, because again, it's where we this was the music of the time. I'm listening to the radio. Right. You know, you listen to WBLS, you listening to, you know, like Red Alert is playing. All of that is going on. The first cassette I ever had, I had 2 cassettes on a reggae level. Now, hip hop level, of course, again, Bobito and Stretch and them is playing, so I'm listening to Bobito and Stretch. Yeah, I'm listening to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to them all the time. But the first 2 cassettes I had was from Genesis, of course, because that's our neighborhood, so they're going to give us the cassettes. Everybody's dubbing the cassettes. And it was Stone Love. It was a Stone Love cassette, a sound called Stone Love, the immortal Stone Love for those who don't know. You know, and Rory was on the microphone, and I played that tape until the shit popped. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is, I said, this Stone Love thing, I said, let me tell you something, to the point where, even right now, you see Father Paul call me right now, I leaving everything, and I'm going to juggle for Stone Love. Like, why wouldn't you? Are you crazy? Like, I would leave all this, bro. Like, all this. Just to play Stone Love, just to like, what? What if you like, Dylan's on Stone Love? And it's funny because imagine if it actually happens and you remember this interview. You know what I'm saying? Right. Father Paul, big up yourself, yo.
So let me ask you
something. One of them. So Billy Slaughter, large. You know what I'm saying? Love and respect to Billy Slaughter, too.
So you said, no, just so, you know, you say your first time going into the club.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? With the sound and you fell in love with the energy and the people. Yeah. And you see how they got the crowd control and all of that. With that being said, like, what was your next time going into a party to see other sounds play? Like, do you ever go to a party and see other sounds play and be like, yo, man, like, damn, yo, I could really do this too. I'm gonna be one of these guys. Who was one? To be clear, who was one of those guys you actually wanted to be besides the sound that you came in?
All right. So growing up, I would say this: my mentors in life. My mentors in life were 2 types of people. It was, of course, the hustlers, Dallas crew. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a crew in their blocks and around there. You know what I'm saying? Around that time, they were called Dallas crew. So those are my mentors, which were, I can't even say they were hustlers. Niggas was doing juxes, you know what I'm saying? Like robberies and shit. For those who don't know what a jux is, but because somebody's out there like a jux.
My bad. You did my job. Let the people know what a jux is.
Jokes. You know, people that was doing that because a lot of that was happening. Without incriminating anything, a lot of that was happening. We were involved with a lot of stuff, getting money. And my mentors was Babyface, Mataran, Puma, you know, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but even the ones that
you mentioned three powerful names that's in the sound, and you didn't mention what sound they come from.
Matron and Babyface were on Addies at that time.
Okay.
Puma, the boss of LP International.
Okay.
Puma from LP International, one of my mentors. You know what I'm saying? Again, we speak, but that he doesn't even know that. I don't even think he knows that. You know.
He knows now.
He knows it now.
So tell me.
What I'm saying is those were the mentors. So I was watching them. But at that time, I was on the road more so, and the road was calling more. So we're doing the jukes here, get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just getting money and doing what we do on the block. Fast forward a little bit. It was 9th grade. In 9th grade, I went to South Shore High School. I went to South Shore High School, and I caught an assault charge in the first 3 months. Some dude was beating up this girl, and I jumped in. I was like, yo, chill, son. And I was like, yo, son, you don't got to do that with shorty, this, that, third. He's like, nigga, you pussy. And, you know, once you call that, bang, you know what I mean? That happened.
This happened in South Shore.
Yeah.
What year?
This was 93, I believe.
Okay.
You know, so that happened, and then after that, he retaliated. He brought his people and caught me slipping, surrounded. I'm sure you've been through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, caught me slipping, and they surrounded me 20 deep when I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, at Glenwood Projects, and I'm like, wow, okay.
So they ate your food. But
they didn't even eat the food. They gave me a warning. I was just like, that's the worst thing you could have done. You know what I'm saying? So I came back, and shout out to the 90s, because there was a dude named ZEEK that looked out for me. He was there, and a few others, and we found that dude, and then we retaliated. Long story short, I got charged with assault. I got kicked out of South.
You talking about Zeke?
I don't know. I haven't seen him since that time.
Okay.
Which is crazy. This Zeke, if I see his face, if it's the same Zeke, that would be like, I would probably cry if I see him, because he was dark skinned.
Dark skinned?
Yeah, he's from the 90s, named Zeke. You know what I'm saying? So if he's seeing this, I haven't seen him since that time, and I just want to say, nigga, love you, man. Like, he was there. You know what I'm saying? We was really rowdy and young, you know? So shout out to Zeke. And, you know, we got it cracking. And with this dude, because he retaliated. So boom. I got locked up for an assault, kicked out of South Shore, and then they sent me to Tilden. I went to Tilden High School, Samuel J. Tilden.
Damn, boy.
So now I'm in Tilden. Now I'm back at Lucky Quarter. Right, now I'm back around Mike all the way, which I know. So I went to Tilden, and after Tilden, now this was 9th grade. And this is important because once I go to Tilden now, which was crazy. Tilden in the 90s was crazy. I did a lot in Tilden, you know, fights and all of that. I was a big fighter. Growing up, I was a big fighter, you know, like, and even to this day, actually, boxing is my hobby. I would say it's a hobby, but like when I take my breaks, I'm in the gym, in the boxing gym, more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only sport that I could actually play. You know, it would be boxing, but we fighters, man, and that's what we was doing. You know, like big time fights. Everything was a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, of course things could lead to guns and all of that, but we were raised as fighters and warriors. So that happened. So now I started doing a lot and in the streets, and my parents, especially my mother, as Linda first son, I started doing too much. And I remember I had, I'm going to keep it real tonight too, or today, I should say. I'm going to keep it real with certain things I will say. There's certain things I won't talk about, like I said, as far as illegal activities and all that, because again, you don't get points bragging about stuff that you got away with. But this one, you know what I'm saying, I can freely speak on this. So we did rob a lot of people at that time. You know, in that time, a lot of people. And
a whole lot.
Yeah, what you know what I'm saying? I remember the first place I robbed was a Chinese store. You know what I'm saying? It was it was a laundromat. We robbed the laundromat at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying? We took everything from them. So that's just
dirty clothes too.
Clothes. I should have took the clothes and everything. You know what I'm saying? Now we empty the register. You know what I'm saying? All that. But those are the times, you know. And again, and I want the people to know this is not bragging. This is not about. Right, oh, he's a bad man. Oh, he's no. This is.
We're talking about the time where we grew
if
up.
you want to know my life, this is what we did, whether you like it or not, and this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? And my kids are gonna watch this one day. You know what I'm saying? And this is just for them to know how that time was. It's not to brag about that. But I had robbed a dude who was. We went further to. Between like King's Plaza, and if you knew that time around King's Plaza, there were a lot of Italians, and I had robbed a dude over there who was part of the mafia, and I took his chain. I was on a bicycle, so I was on the handlebars, you know what I'm saying, of a fella. I'm not gonna say a name, cause you know what I'm saying, but he was riding me, and I jumped off the handlebars. I snatched his chain up. And I went off, and I went through certain alleys and all that. I got away with it, I thought. And let me tell you something. These Italian individuals visited my mom's and mom and dad yard. They came. I don't know how they found the house, but again, this is the 1990s. These Italians,
hold on, man.
they
hold on, man. So you trying to tell me Paulie came in?
right,
Paulie knocked it into it.
Fucking Paulie, and then they said, "Listen, we want to see your son there. He has something for ours. He has something for ours. So you know, we want to talk to them. You know, da da da." And I was like, "Oh wow." So I wasn't there for that convo. I was definitely inside. I knew what was going on. They was at the front. And mom said, "All right, this is enough of Brooklyn for this kid," and she sent me to Aruba to go to school. Now I didn't know this was the setup. She sent me to Aruba.
One-way ticket.
When I go to Aruba now, I'm with my tanty, my uncle, and my first cousin.
My man say your tanty.
Yeah.
Your auntie.
Not tanty. Tanty. Tanty, my right. So watch now. So I'm down there in Aruba. And down there I remember I needed some herb. I didn't like the vibes and things. Big up to Glenn. You know what I'm saying? I love you, Glenn, cousin Glenn. But we didn't get along as much as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm there in Aruba, and this is the summer, and I remember I was looking for some herbs, so I took the bicycle and go check the Rasta man them, and police came through and arrested me in Aruba. When the police arrested me now again, being from Brooklyn, you're used to that, right? But then they find out who my family is in Aruba. I didn't know they were politically connected. They were politically connected, so they were like, "Oh, we can't touch him, but bring him back home." When they brought me back home, Tanti said, no, we can't do this. And then me and Glenn have a falling out, and I put a knife on him, and he tried to stop my Snoop Dogg record. I was playing Snoop Dogg. Doggy Style had just dropped. And when Doggy Style just dropped, I'm playing the album, and he said, "Yo, cut down the music, turn it down a little bit." And I said, "What do you mean turn it down? Like, that shit just dropped."
Hold on. So say that in the accent that y'all talking. I want you to say it in that accent.
You can't play Doggy Style. You feel like you're from America, so you feel like you can come here and bad up the place. I said, no, I'm not badding up nothing. I'm playing Doggy Style. So he felt away, and I pulled out the knife on him, and I tried to juke him up. Tanti said, "This can't happen. Send the youth to live with his grandparents over there." It just so happened at this time, mom, my brother, sister, I have one brother, one sister. They're younger than me. My brother, then my sister. They're on vacay for the summer in Caracou, Grenada, with my grandparents. Grandparents are alive, all right? So, boom, I'm watching Popeye, so you know what I'm going. So, boom. So, when I go there, I'm like, "Oh, shit, mom's is here," right? I just left from Aruba. Fuck that shit. I'm home, right? Because, I told you, I'm there every summer, so I know the road. Okay. I'm in Grenada. I know the road. I'm there. So, when August time come of that year.
What year is this again?
This is 94.
Okay.
94. I'm there in the summer, and they're about to leave. Mom's packing up, and she ain't saying nothing. I said, wait.
They said it again?
Mom's is packing her bags. But then it gets emotional because she's not looking me in the eye and she's like, come on, Dane, we have to go. And I'm like, my bag's packed too. She's like, Mommy, I see you. Da da da. And they go up the hill. Here, my brother Dane. Mom, we left Island. And she's like, come on, we have to go. And I'm watching them going up the hill with the luggage, and I'm like, wait, y'all don't have a flight for me? You don't have a flight? And they just going up. They left.
How do you feel?
Alone. I'm alone. I looked out. Now, for those who don't know, Grenada is a tri-island. Grenada is the mainland, which has a population of 100,000 people. Carriacou is 13 square miles. 13 square miles with a population of 5,000 people. And then there's Petite Martinique, which has about maybe 300 people. Right? Carriacou is 13 square miles. So you can see the ocean from everywhere that you are. And I just told you what I did in Brooklyn. And I'm stuck there like, wow. I'm living here. And Papa and Grandma. My grandfather and my grandmother. And me. That is it. And I have my Stone Love cassette. I have my Genesis cassette. We don't have a TV. To go to the bathroom, you have to go outside. There's an outside bathroom. You have to go
outpost.
Yeah. Oh, you mean you have the outpost? The kitchen is outside because you don't have that. There's an outside kitchen that they cook. And there's a lot of corn to plant. We have at that time maybe 20 cattle. We have 16 sheep. We have donkeys. I have a donkey. Papa has a donkey.
What's your donkey name?
I ain't named the donkey. What do you?
Donkey what?
Donkey?
Donkey 1 and Donkey 2.
Donkey 1 and Donkey 2. Mine was actually a baby donkey. It was dark skin. You know what I'm saying? He had the lighter donkey. You know what I'm saying? Papa had Papa had the big donkey, man. Pause. Pause. That sounds crazy now. In this time and generation, it sounds crazy.
That's real shit.
But so no, we're in the country, and I'm literally. I adopted. I grew my locks, you know what I mean, at this time, and I found out that the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Conqueror Lion of Judah still reigned.
How old you was around this time?
15. I was 15. I'm reading the Bible now, and I literally just went from juxing everybody around the way to just reading the Bible and learning about Haile Selassie, and I grew my locks, and I'm there. So my entire high school is Carriacou, Grenada.
Oh, okay.
You know? So going from South Shore Tilden to
so you really
I definitely went to school.
You did ninth grade.
Like, yeah, I did all that. I went to school. Yeah. No, I'm living. Yeah. Okay,
I
went to Hillsborough and all that. Yeah. Okay. So I did all of that. Come back? So when I come back, no.
Wait. Hold. Talk. Sorry.
Yeah.
What was that like though? Like going to school, like transitioning.
School uniform. Very hard. Very, very, very tough. But what made it easy for me mentally was the Rasta culture. I don't think if I wasn't Rasta, if I was bald-head at that time, it would have been harder. Because mentally what happens is bald-head to me was gangster shit. It's back home, foreign thing. But adapting to culture, adapting to the roots and the ground, I went literally to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because Rastaman control agriculture. And I have to plant corn, melon, peas, name it, papaya, mango.
So you had a farm, basically.
Yeah, big time. You know what I'm saying? I have 6 mango trees in the back. You know what I'm saying? We have, again, cattle, we have sheep. I got to change the sheep them. I have to change them from here to there. There's a lot I have to do.
Is it milk cow?
Yeah, well, I didn't melt corn, but yeah, they have to do that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Corn, a lot of corn. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you tell?
You like corn?
A lot of corn.
Sound like Forrest Gump.
Oh man, a lot of corn, brother.
Corn stew.
Oh, corn stew.
We had cornbread.
Cool.
We had corn cool. We had corn flakes.
Yes. A lot of corn, and so my life was that. So now, boom. So now, let me move forward because there's a lot I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: when I got back, I did a deal with moms that I would cut my locks to come to America. Because remember, ain't no money. You can't make no money in Carriacou. You can't make no money down there as a teen. I'm a teenager. What money I'm making? You know what I'm saying? You can't make no money. So I said, all right, I'll cut the locks, but I won't cut it down here. I'll cut it when I get up there if you do that. You know, hustler shit, right? So I was like, all right, we do a deal. I'll cut it when I get there. So when I reach, I cut it. And let me tell you something. When I cut it,
How that felt for you, Zach?
it felt like I was ready to do a jugs.
Went right back into
Yeah. It felt like, and it's kind of sad because, like, it felt like that was a peaceful time for me. I learned a lot. I learned the culture. I learned everything. And I think that's where, again, my name, Dylan, because I started calling myself Dylan. Because keep in mind, this was Dylan before that.
Right.
Dylan was in Lucas Ballroom. Dylan was doing all that shit around the way. Dylan was doing all that flapper shit, all that wicked shit, wicked man things. You understand? So when I go to Carriacou, Grenada, this was Dylan now. Because grandparents, everything, I went to my original name that mom and dad called me. Once I reached back, they had moved to a place called Long Island.
He said a place Long Island.
Yeah, I gotta give it to them like that, right? I give it to them like that. So I go to a place called Long Island, and I'm like, all right. Once they put me in the school out there now, which was the wrong grade because they didn't have no records, they don't have no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they put me in a 9th grade center, and I'm like, I'm older than all these people. You know, between the first and second period, I'm robbing everybody. There was a locker thing. There was a whole bunch of lockers, I remember. And any big man I see who's bigger than me, I say, yo, come here real quick. Let me see something. And I'm digging their pockets. I lasted 3 months. 3 months in Long Island schools, huh? So anybody that said, now keep in mind, there's people I heard that said, oh, you went to Brentwood High School. I know you from Brentwood High School. No, you know me from visiting and tossing tables over there. You don't know me from there because I never went to high school over there. Only high school I went to is in Carriacou and Brooklyn. And I went to that freshman center for 3 months, and that is it. Moving forward, I got kicked out of that shit, and now I'm back in the streets. And around that time, there was, to be politically correct, a lot of the family, the Brooklyn wave of certain cultures from LA and different things started coming into Brooklyn.
Okay.
And we started that.
Yeah. Flatbush. Westbury to Lincoln, Clarkson Ave to Lennox, 21st to Church, Nostrand Ave to Riddock, Newkirk to 2/3, the junction where the 2 stop, Vidside to 90s, Flatbush Ave and Bear High.
We are Flatbush.